now I just need to desolder these tendons and bend them to the right shapes. Okay then, let's see. $50mm. Yeah, just about right. 15mm. Yeah, close enough. 15 again, close enough. 5mm. A bit too long on each side. So I just need to bend the end here and snip off a bit. Let's try to bend it carefully, because I don't want to snap these because of metal fatigue. Could easily happen on wire like this. And now bend this one, 5mm. Score a mark into the wire to bend it. Thinner pair of pliers. This bend. There. Now the end is actually too long. Needs to be cut. Just about half as long. Okay. Snip. Just about. And 5mm. Okay. Now for the other one. Let's see. 50mm. Yeah. 15. It's a bit wonky. Probably where someone stepped on him. Maybe. Poor little guy. There. 15. And 15. Okay. Now it's just the end being too long again. Yeah. Way above 5mm each end. So let's bend that straight again. About the same. Let's snip this one too. There. Now these are done. Now on to the main tendons. Okay. 90 millimeters. Not really that equal. That's why I'm remeasuring these. Oh, crap. The ends are too short. 40 millimeters, slightly too short. It seems to be too short to bend back to the original shape. Which is probably why these were too long in the first place, because they cut the wire wrong from the full length. But I have lots more piano wire I can use to make new tendons, which is not the problem. It's just that I was really hoping to use the original tendons. But oh well. But at least I'll get to use these original side pieces. See if they're the same. Yeah, should be 1 millimeter each. And this should definitely be long enough. So 90 millimeters plus 55 plus 55, 110 plus 90. So they should be exactly 200 millimeters long. There's one tendon. And the other one. And lots more left. So I just measured this center tendon too, and it's also completely wrong. I don't think I'll be able to bend this out without breaking it anyway, so I might as well just make a new center tendon too. This is supposed to be 185 millimeters. So this is way too much. Almost. There. 185. Stage 2. 40 millimeters and 15. Check it on the robot. Leg holes are kind of tight. I might have to drill them bigger. If I use this 1.3 millimeter drill bit, that should be fine. There, tendon should fit now. There. Nice. There, that's 2 new tendons with the correct measurements this time. Now comes the tricky part, I guess, which is bending in a 6mm long tiny tap. Now I might as well use the hammer to bend the rest. There, I'm pleased with that. Even though this should be 6mm long, and it's actually a bit longer. Because if the manual wants this to be 80mm and this to be 60mm, then whatever remains in the middle is longer than 6mm. Oh well. Let's attach the tendons now. Should be just fine. Now I'm supposed to bend the ends. Not sure which direction to bend those. What would look the nicest? Doesn't really say in the manual either. Insert the front rear leg tendon into the two holes on each side and bend slightly as they protrude beneath the leg section to retain the tendon in place. Yeah. Bend slightly. That's all it says. But which direction is slightly? I guess if I bend them back at the same angle as these, should be fine, I guess. Yeah, that should be fine. And the other one. Just need to adjust them. Okay. Okay, so this tendon needs to go lower down. Like so. Now I need to properly center the legs first. And the servo horn. And just tape it into place. That should be fine. There, I'm happy with that. Seems kind of wobbly. Like the center tendon is too short somehow. Don't really like that. I guess I can extend it slightly over here. I place the robot flat on all its feet, like so, and measure the distance. approximately 15 centimeters. Okay. This one is less. Approximately 14.5, so it's not too bad. Just need to add 2.5 millimeters to each end. If these don't break by bending them back. I wonder, maybe the measurements in the manual are wrong, because the bent part that goes into the legs should be 20 millimeters long, but it's only 15 millimeter on the other legs. So maybe they were actually supposed to be 15. 20 minus 2.5 should be 17.5. So that's actually not too far away from 15 millimeters. Also, the manual tells me to bend the center tendon even further here. So maybe I should bend the ends at 15 millimeters and then give it the extra bends here in case it's too long. It won't be exactly like the manual wants me to make it, but if that's wrong, then that's not my fault. I guess if this tendon breaks, I can always make another one, because this is not the original anyway. Yeah, that's too long as I expected, but the manual wants me to bend this again. Not sure where to bend it though. Bend center leg tendon at these points to obtain best performance. Okay. These points. Where the hell are these points? Sort of looks like the bends are at the ends of the legs. Maybe. Or the edge of the circuit board. It's not really an accurate drawing. I guess that would look nice. At the edge of the tubes. Should probably measure that there. Approximately 2.5. It's right at 25 millimeters. That's nice. I think I'll bend it there then. Let's see which direction to bend it. Okay. Like that. There. I'd say that was just about perfect. And that's all the tendons done. And now for the final step, his tiny little whiskers. And I was actually considering replacing these cable shoes because they look kinda big. But if these really are the original ones, then I would rather just keep those and crimp them together better than what was done originally. And just like that, they're properly crimped and nicely centered. Now the manual tells to glue the cable shoes onto the microswitch arms at 10mm away from the hinge. So I'll just cut the 10mm wide piece of masking tape to use as a guide. That's not a whole lot of micro switch arm left for the cable shoes, but I guess that's the correct amount. Now I just need to glue them in place, and I'll use some super glue for that. And finally, with the whiskers in place, that's one finished StampBug. Let's turn him on and see what happens. It seems to be working just fine. And the LEDs are blinking. Let's test the whiskers. Boop. Walking backwards, and then turning. Nice. And the other one. Boop. Also reacting. Walking backwards. And turning. Nice. I would like to test its walking on my floor, but my house is a total mess now. But I came across these final words in the manual that says, StampBug is now ready to face the outside world. So I guess we're going outside then.
Subscribe for more.